Salvation Army was founded in 1865 by William Booth, a Methodist preacher, who became a little bit disillusioned with the work of the established church, or rather lack of work of the established churches at that time. And he looked at the poor and the marginalised, some of them who were literally lying in the street gutters, and his heart was challenged about that. And he felt that the churches should do more for these people, not just serving the middle classes, but reaching out to the poorest, the lowest and the least in the country. So he stepped away from the Methodist Church, where he was a preacher, and with his wife Catherine, founded the Salvation Army. It began life as the Christian Mission in 1865, and then 13 years later in 1878, the name was changed to the Salvation Army, and we've been known as that ever since. William Booth, who went on to call himself General William Booth, adopted the ranks and the military style of the forces as a way of organising this new movement called the Salvation Army. So he adopted ranks such as captain and lieutenant and major, and applied those to his ordained ministers, his church leaders, and the members of the Salvation Army became known as soldiers. And the whole idea of that is that the Salvation Army exists as an army. An army is there to defend the defenceless, but also to wage a war. And the war that we're waging is on the evils in our society. And the Salvation Army, like all the other churches, stands shoulder to shoulder with churches and voluntary organisations in trying to make a difference, a positive difference in the community. So it's our joy to work with other churches and those organisations to be able to do that. The International Salvation Army has actually never stopped growing since it was founded in 1865, and the fastest growing parts of the Salvation Army today are in India and in parts of Africa such as Kenya, where we have a waiting list for people to become officers, that's ministers, in the Salvation Army. Here in the West, and to a certain extent in North America as well, so in Western Europe I should say, we've experienced a decline in membership since World War II, and at the moment we're not seeing any change in that trend. So it's tricky for us because we're living in an increasingly secular society, but we believe we have a message that's still relevant and still true, and still has the power to change lives, to challenge lives and change eternities as well. But we just wanted to highlight that we have our worship, but also during the week a community program for people of all ages, and we have a parent and toddler club that meets on a Friday, and throughout the week we have a cafe that runs Monday to Friday, serving nutritious and food that's of good value as well, where you can come and receive a warm welcome and to have some conversation and meet some people. Well, music plays an important role in the Salvation Army. Today we're well known for our brass bands. An adult group. We also have junior groups as well, a junior band and a junior choir.
Thank you.
And we have those groups because we really believe that music can add something to the worship here on a Sunday. It's really a uniform that we wear for worship and for witness. So if we're here on a Sunday worshipping, the soldiers will wear their uniforms, and if we're outside in the streets somewhere doing something, we'll wear uniforms so that people can identify us as the Salvation Army. But we wouldn't wear our uniforms, for example, if we had an informal rehearsal or we were around at somebody's house, you know, having a natter and having a planning meeting or something.
O Christ of burning, cleansing flame, your blood one gift today we claim,
to burn up every trace of sin, to bring the light and glory in.
Lord, now begin, send out the fire right now, for we all need His power. Lord, send out the fire right now, and with it we'll be strong. Burn up every sin and make us pure, we pray.
And firstly, is a place where you're very welcome. Secondly, that anybody can come of any age and any faith background, faith or no faith, and find a warm welcome here. And that we try and provide a service in the community for people of all ages and backgrounds as well. So if we can be of help to you, then we'd like to hear from you.